Pretty much it's right or it's wrong, right? You know, you can't argue with a measuring tape.
Yeah,
what's the number we're chasing? It's written on the piece.
659. That dot up there, and this one is 672.
It's what?
672.
Bullshit.
Okay, so Paul had just spent about 2 minutes explaining to me how much effort he had put into marking the roof before he cut it off, so when he put it back on it would be in the exact same position, and then that happened with the measuring. So check out the last part of this video. I've got the full clip in there. It's quite amusing. Alright, so hello everybody and welcome back. In this episode, what I was wanting to do is get you guys to give me some feedback on what you want to see of the remaining fabrication work. And so what we've done is Paul and I have done a walk around the car, and he's pretty much just gone over the stuff that's left to do that's coming up in the next few months. And then yeah, if you guys can just chuck in the comments what you want Paul to actually explain in more detail and show his fabrication process. So, and the other stuff I'll just kind of show a finished result of it in some sort of a highlights type video. Alright, we'll get into it.
So we're going to put not even a full half in this.
Yeah.
It's going to have, say, a third of a boot floor.
Yeah.
Which we're just going to use that replacement part so we don't have to hand make it. What's that hole in there?
A little plate goes on there, and I think it's to access the fuel.
The fuel sender?
Sender, yeah.
What does it look like it's been gas cut?
Yeah, it does look a bit rough, doesn't it?
Because they normally have an access point for the sender. That looks like some dodgy farmer's cut a hole in it to me.
Well, we'll get Craig on here. We'll get Craig explain himself.
Yeah, like that's, I could be wrong, that looks foreign to me. Okay, it looks foreign, so we need to work out if that's staying or going.
Yeah, right.
That's a grey area on this car.
Yeah.
Like, I'm thinking it's going to come off. I desperately don't want to pull it off, but it's kind of screaming at me to do it, because I think it's probably going to be failing quite badly underneath it, and it's the last structural part of the car as far as removing it goes.
I know I have spotted some rusty patches on that side.
Yeah, and also, but it needs a front edge put on, like a screen edge. So it's actually failing along the front edge.
Oh, it's not yet. Oh, yeah, right.
And so by the time we've put metal in all the way through there where it needs it, which will include a weld line that we can't get access to because that's got no access points.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's probably failing underneath it, the responsible thing to do is probably take that off. So I'm sitting on the fence a little bit on that, but instinctively I'm 80% saying that's coming off there.
Yeah. Under the rear seat where those, I keep blaming the mice.
Yeah.
For that.
You're going to find me a new piece of floor for that.
Oh yeah, that's the one part you want to find. Yeah.
Or we're going to hand make it.
Yeah.
If you can't find a piece of replacement floor for it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that piece that we took out of the donor car wasn't in that great a condition. It was just the one part that we couldn't quite use. But we did well. We did good from the donor vehicle.
Real well. Can't have it all our own way.
Yeah.
Really lucky for what we got out of that.
Yeah. You're talking about the little pinholes everywhere that you'll just go along and just kind of zap with the welder.
Yeah, and that's barely even worth a mention.
Yeah.
Because all we do with that stuff is when you're in the vicinity, you're putting a patch in here, and there's a couple of those little random bits around it, you just take care of those at the same time.
Yeah.
I've actually got a couple of nuisance bits in the frames, which actually is a real pain in the ass, because they're only stupid little bits. Like that.
Okay.
So that's going to need a new bit of metal in it.
Yeah.
And so's that.
Yeah.
So
There's a few people that wanted to see that weld that you did. There was a lot of, I put a thing on Facebook about that weld, and there was a huge amount of comments on basically how did you weld it. If there's enough interest in that weld that Paul did, we do have it on video. We've kind of kept it tucked away. So yeah, we'll see what the interest is in that. The big welds back here to do too. That's going to be interesting. That's a long weld.
yeah, good access though.
Yeah.
So I'm not at all concerned about those. I think they'll go really well.
You just weld it just from the top and then the bottom, or just the top?
Just the top.
Yeah.
Thin gauge.
Yeah.
So you get good penetration off your weld.
Yeah.
And that's it. Yeah, you've only got to do it across the top.
Sweet.
You just got to keep an eye on your penetration, make sure that you've got your weld set up well.
Yeah. Cool.
The rear quarters, I can't put on until the wheel housings are done.
Yeah.
The inner rear wheel housings.
So you need to get, you're still waiting on me to get those housings sandblasted and get, so you're waiting on that.
It's definitely on my to-do list fairly soon.
Yeah.
Because I can't fit the rear quarters until those wheel housings are finished.
Yeah. The roof.
So I'm really happy with that roof. It's
Yeah.
gone on really well. I've had to tweak it here and there, but I think it's in a dead right place. But we went to heaps of trouble before we took it off.
Yeah.
To give ourselves a whole lot of measurements because we want to make sure it's going back in the same place.
The dot punches and stuff I gave you an with that, eh? So,
Yeah, and then we wrote the measurements on the car.
Yeah.
And we also took photos of the measurements, so we've got a digital copy so that if the blasting process knocked anything off,
yeah.
we didn't lose any of that information. Like, for example, there's one here. So I've got dot punch mark there,
Yeah.
another corresponding one there with a measurement. So if I just have a quick look at that, it's meant to be 662. Like that actually measures at 662, which, to be honest, I don't expect to get it to the millimetre. Probably a little bit lucky
Yeah.
that that's measuring so well, but really encouraging when you're taking big structural, lots of new metal,
Yeah.
roof skin off. Be really nice if the screens fit back in the car and we
Yeah.
put it back together.
Yeah.
So it's not something we really want to get wrong. So that one's meant to be 1024. It measures at 1025. But that's not claimed up yet. We
Yeah.
might even get their last valve. So
Yeah.
again, it just means I can move forward with confidence,
Yeah.
knowing that our numbers are looking pretty good. So if you just want to check the corresponding one on that side,
Yeah.
pretty much it's right or it's wrong, right? You know, you can't argue with a measuring tape.
Yeah,
What's the number we're chasing? It's written on the piece of
659. Okay, going up to that dot up there, and this one is 672.
It's what?
672.
Bullshit.
Yeah, I'll recheck it. So six should be 659. 672.
It shouldn't be. Let me have a look at it. 659, Andrew. Obviously, you can't be trusted.
Yeah, that part's getting edited out though. I'm editing out the part where it's correct. I'm just going to leave in the part where it's 10 mils wrong.
Note to self: don't trust Andrew on the measuring tape. Thanks for that.
Well, you know, all the comments that come up on the YouTube channel are like, always so positive about Paul, the amazing work that he's doing. So we got to write, you know, we got to.
Well, keeping in mind that we just don't show the cock-ups.
Yeah, I've got to start adding more of the cock-ups on the day. So
We've got to stop editing that stuff out.
yeah, and Paul does and a lot more than what you may think he does as well.
Yeah, I own that.
Cool. There's your measuring tape. That's 10 mils out.
Okay, so I don't think Paul's ever going to give me a measuring tape ever again. So hope you guys enjoyed that. All right, be sure to hit the like button so this video gets out to a few more people and they can also comment on what they want to see. And we'll see you in the next one.